All right, guys, I am super, super pumped about tonight. We're going to get right into it. We are going to be talking all things leadership. This is not going to be a typical leadership call where it's like, hey, A, B, C, and D, and this is exactly what I'm doing. And this is how Melissa alone is successful. She's going to literally talk about some real leadership stuff tonight. And just whatever is on her mind with the mountains and the valleys. And she's just great at vulnerability. I can't introduce her enough. All I'll say is she is one of the most genuinely truthful human beings I've ever met. Cincy aside, she is so genuine. She literally, I don't want to make it seem like I'm trying to like clout her up, but what I'm trying to say is she is the life and breath of what Cincy believes in, I guess, the values. I love Melissa because she's like me and she doesn't focus solely on like paycheck and numbers and all these things. She's more people focused. And that's why I feel like I've always meshed really well with her. And so I'm really, really excited. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull you up.
Spotlight for
and I'm going to let you just take it away, guys. This is Melissa Gratz, Superstar Director. And no, you cannot have her. She's mine. Okay.
It was kind of the greatest introduction. I really love it. And I'm fortunate, and especially lately, I'm fortunate that you and I have had an opportunity to cultivate a relationship outside of, with Cincy as the common denominator, but I think, you and I have been able to spend some time together and I'm really grateful for that. So I'm honored you'd have me come speak to your leaders. That means a lot to me. And so thank you to both you and Justin for talking me up. And, this hot mess is nothing like Chloe's. Look, I live a hot mess life with a ton of chaos. And, I don't know how to be any other way. I'm always running in 64 different directions. I'm a mom, I'm a wife. I started Cincy 14 years ago. I didn't expect to do anything with it, nothing. In fact, and I know I can say this on here to your people, but for the first first 4 months of being with Cincy, these are what the testers looked like back then. And my friends would come over on Fridays and Saturday nights and we'd have barbecues and play a drinking game with the scent testers. And they'd blindfold me and they'd put it under my nose. And if I got it right, they had to drink. And if I got it wrong, I had to drink. So that's kind of how I learned the scents in my first couple months with Cincy, because I had absolutely no desire to do, not that I didn't have the desire to do anything with it, but nobody ever makes anything out of a direct selling business. That was my thought. The stigma is you get in, you get a kit, you make a little money, you spend it back, you're stuck with some product, you leave. And that's really where my mindset was. I was not the direct sales girl. I had never held a home party, never attended a home party. I had absolutely zero desire to be any kind of a consultant for anything, except for I loved the product first. And I think that is very relatable to a bunch of us, is that it was the product that made us fall in love, and the business kind of came hand in hand with that. What are you doing? Yes, you can have that. What? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Just be careful with the stuff, please. And so, so I didn't expect it to be anything. But I do know about myself that when I do commit to something, I'll give it 110%. And if it doesn't work, at least I know I tried. And so that's kind of what happened with Cincy, is that and I absolutely love that. I fell in love with the product, or it started with the product, but I've fallen in love with the community. And I didn't see who said that, but I completely agree with that, because what I've come to find is that, number one, we are different here. We're different here. Just take it all, Maren. Go, just do it. Use whatever you want to use. Please stop interrupting. Okay, go. You can use it. Go. You can use anything that you want. My goodness, she's going through the Christmas bins and she's starting to decorate without us, and because she's so antsy, and she's in there, and I hear her. We have a Play Toy North Pole microphone, and it's like you record it and then it turns your voice into an elf and it plays back. And I hear her in there saying, Mrs. Claus had a baby. That's what she's saying over the speed. Mrs. Claus had a baby. Mrs. Claus had a baby. And I'm thinking, oh, good God. Anyhow. Okay. So, anyway, the long and the short of what I'm trying to get at is I didn't expect to do anything with this. I fell into it. And I've stayed, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm not a job jumper by nature anyways. I had, when I came upon Scentsy in 2008, I had been with the company for my career. I had been with the company for 6 years. I stayed an additional 10 after starting Scentsy. I remember in 2011, I could have quit that other job, and I didn't want to have all of my eggs in one basket. And I also wasn't, I didn't hate what I did for a living. Even though my Scentsy income came, it became my income we lived off of. But this other job didn't, it didn't, I liked it. And I was the manager of an insurance company. And then, as many of you maybe heard me speak at convention a couple of years back, but I said, the fascinating thing is that my parents never ever asked me when I had that other job, when I thought it will have run its course. Never. But they always ask me when I think Scentsy will have run its course for me. Do you think Scentsy has seen its heyday? Do you think you've done all you can do with Scentsy? And that's the question they always ask me. And the funny part is that the job they never asked me that about is the one that merged with a larger company and let me go. So to be the creator of my own destiny and be in more control so that somebody can't do that to me again has really made this career become a career, because I'm responsible for what happens here. And it's interesting because that isn't the way that what we do is viewed. It's viewed as a plaything. It's viewed as not something that's real or serious. And I would say 100% that the greatest gift we can get out of having a business like this is that we steer the ship. Personal growth and personal development is one of the main things that comes out of owning a business like this. If you choose to personally develop, which is going to bring us right into the leadership conversation. So I'll come right back to that in a second. So let me give you the Cliff Note version, just in case I didn't. So I've been with Scentsy since 2008. It became my full-time income in 2011, full-time only thing that I do. I don't work outside of the home anymore in 2019. I became a superstar director. I promoted to superstar director in 2010, I believe. So I went from, I went from lead consultant to superstar consultant. I went from director to superstar director. So I skipped star consultant and I skipped star director, because the moment I captured the vision and knew that there was something greater here, I didn't look back. I committed to it and I ran. Now, here's the thing. You can't build this business and promote to those levels without people. So you can sell all you want. You can sell all you want, but you can't achieve your goals without the people. Which then brings us to this being a relationship, people, business first, whether it's your team or your customers or your family and how they're integrated into your business. Relationships and how you treat and connect with people are the paramount and pivotal item that can propel your business. I'm sure many of you have heard of the power of one. I talk about the power of one to my leaders and to my team all the time, because you are only ever one consultant or one person away from changing the scope of your business. There are many people who don't realize what they have in front of them until somebody joins their team. And all of a sudden they're like, well, shoot, I either need to step it up or step aside. Because you can't do this business alone. So that takes us into tonight's topic, talking about what is leadership? What does leadership look like to me on a daily basis? What are the hard parts of leadership? And what are the rewarding parts of leadership? So those are the 4 things that we're going to talk about. And I actually found something, rather than me paraphrasing a lot of it, I don't want to leave any of the important points out, but in talking about what leadership is, I love that one of the very first things that leadership isn't is a title. Anybody can have any title, but can they lead the people? And many of us are not naturally born leaders. I wasn't a natural born public speaker. In 2012, I got up on stage for the first time at a Sensi event to present at World Tour. I think it was Spring Sprint or World Tour back then. And I was hyperventilating on the side of the auditorium. I thought I was going to die. I was doing stretches and side bends and stretching my quads and I was doing all kinds of cockamamie circus acts on the side of the auditorium because I thought I was going to die. I didn't die. But I wasn't a natural born public speaker. I've grown into this. It's that self-development, personal growth piece of this puzzle that when you're open to the things and the opportunities that can come your way, they come. But you have to be open to them. And the only person that can decide if something needs to change is you to change it. So going back to leadership. So one of the things, the main thing is a leadership isn't a title. You could lead one person. That you could lead yourself. We all need our own leadership. We look for leadership from others. Others look to us for leadership. But it has nothing to do with seniority or one's position in a hierarchy of a company. It has nothing to do with titles. It has nothing to do with personal attributes. If you say the word leader, most people think of somebody that's domineering, take charge, charismatic. We often think of icons, people that we think are really good leaders. But we don't need extroverted, charismatic traits to practice leadership, and those with charisma don't automatically lead. And leadership isn't management. You are not managing nor micromanaging people, though it feels like that's what we do a lot of times. I mean, we are directors, we are therapists, we are best friends, we are enemies, there's conflict, there's celebration, there's recognition, there's a lot of irons in the fire. And a lot of times it can feel like that scary leadership umbrella is so many things you never expected you would have to be or deal with. But it's not management. And this is a big one. Leadership and management are not synonymous. They don't mean the same thing. You have 15 people in your downline. You have 15 people in your downline and profit and loss responsibility. Good for you. Hopefully you are a good manager. Good management is needed. Managers need to plan, measure, monitor, coordinate, solve, hire, fire, in our case, not fire, and so many other things. Typically, managers manage things. You are not the manager of your downline, but people will look to you for guidance. Sometimes they'll look at you to run their whole damn business. But leadership, part of it is separating out. You have to be there for the people. You came before them. You have a little bit more experience. But people are the driving force behind what we do. We can't hit our goals without the people. You can hit a sales goal on your own. You can hit 2,000 a month in sales and get that extra $100 bonus. And you can work your tail off to sell $2,000 a month and only ever make 600 bucks. Or you can spread out the wealth. You can spread out your basket tester cents and send them to multiple places. So those are out working for you. And you can build a team of people to go out and do the same thing so that you can work a little smarter and a little less harder. And that isn't what makes us a pyramid. We have this discussion all the time. People say, well, if you're dependent on what the people below you are doing, then that's a pyramid. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Because we still have requirements. I'm not sitting back, my feet up on my desk doing absolutely nothing. In fact, I work harder now, but I don't want that to be off-putting. I work harder now because I want to, because what I do doesn't feel like work. And my favorite motto, and I think I've taken a couple things from a couple different places and put this together, but my favorite motto is, you cannot make people work, but you can show them why they want to. If you think about that, are you leading by example? Are you doing the things? I won't ask my girls or my guys to do anything I won't do. And it's really not that deep. Like, let's be real, if we strip it all back, like sometimes we feel like this business is pretty deep and oh shoot, and we're in over our heads, but realistically it's wax warmers and a couple oils at the end of the day. Like, it's not that deep. And if something sells out, this is what I say to my girls. If something sells out, it's not that deep. It's a sellout of a product. There are people being diagnosed with cancer. Like, let's put things into some perspective. Let's put some things into some perspective. You waving to everybody? Okay. What can I get you? Okay. Can you go finish decorating, please? Or go upstairs and read, please.
I did not this.
Okay. Okay. All right, go. Where was I? Because I'm also a mom. Okay. So let's go back to what is leadership. Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. You have the vision. You've been here longer than whoever you're leading. So you have the ability to show by demonstration, by saying, I'm not going to ask you to do anything that I wouldn't do. You have the ability to lay out that vision and allow others to accept it as their own reality. Leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. It is influence. Your team, just like your kids, will do what you do. They'll do what you say. They'll do what you don't. They won't do what you won't do. Leadership is about influence. Leadership is a process of social influence which maximizes the efforts of others towards the achievement of a goal. Leadership stems from social influence, not authority or power. Leadership requires others, and that implies they don't need to be, this says it implies they don't need to be direct reports, but leadership requires having people. You have to have people in place to lead. And no mention of personality traits, attributes, or even a title. There are many styles, many paths to effective leadership. So what does leadership look like to me on a daily basis? I mean, that is what we do, right? Some of us start leading the moment we get our very first team member, and some of us wait until we get a certain title to start leading. And some of us, it comes naturally, and some of us, we don't know how to lead. We don't think we do. But if you are able to work with people, you have the ability to lead. So what does leadership look like for me on a daily basis? Well, on a daily basis, it just kind of, I wish I could say I had a checklist and a robotic routine. I don't. And the reason I don't is because different things need me at different times. Different people need recognition at different times. But getting to know my key players, and knowing what makes them tick, and knowing where they feel less than, and knowing where they thrive, and being able to be there to guide them through whatever it is that they're experiencing. Gosh, I wish I could see all of the chat. Like your guys' chat comes in like rapid fire. What are you saying, Chloe? Oh, I don't know what that means. I think that means like, get out of here. No, I'm kidding.
Please don't leave. Just ignore us. We talk about crazy things. They just love you. Just keep talking.
Okay. So, what I do on a daily basis is different. The easy things are, oh, let me recognize my top 10, my top 5, who's my movers and shakers, who's selling the most, who's got all the PRV, who's my recruiting machine. Those are easy things because we have data that spits out the answers for us. But it's really, really important to me, and you will meet leaders of all different perspectives with what I'm about to say. So my way is not the Bible, and my way is just my way. But I have found that the more that I strengthen my community and make people want to be a part of it, the harder it is for them to leave. That is the only thread that has remained constant. That is the only reason that I have my girls that say to me, I will never leave. My life would be empty without my Sensi family. So if nothing else, I have really worked to make people feel like they are a part of something. Because, and I don't know if there's any men on, so please forgive me, men, for a second, if there are, but as women, we strive for a sense of belonging. The beautiful part about this business is you don't have to be hired. You don't have to interview for it. If you want an opportunity here, you can spend $99 or $59 or $1. And you are a business owner. You are a business consultant. But the thing of it is a responsibility of a leader to provide a comfortable arena for people to thrive. Because you know that a lot of the reason, you have people that join for all different reasons, but the ones that stay because they can't imagine if they woke up tomorrow and didn't have Sensi. Because it's not just the product will always be, they could still buy from somebody. That isn't what Sensi comes to mean to people. Sensi comes to mean community, friends, best friends, travel, leaning, lifting. It comes to mean so much more. And so as a leader, it is up to me to make sure I give everybody the opportunity to be an active contributing member, whether they choose to or not, because I know that the golden ticket is in getting you immersed in what we love here. Because if I can get you to feel a part of it, and I can get you to feel like I couldn't live without this, you'll stay. And we need all different types of consultants here. We need the consultants that sell $5,000 a month. We need the consultants that do 200 a year. We need them all. It doesn't damn make a bit of difference. If somebody spends $1, that's $1. We need, why I do this business, I can't expect every single person to feel like I need them to do the business like I do. I don't need that. But I will run in the pack of dogs with the ones that do want it with like me. Those are who's going to get the majority of my time. Not the wantrepreneurs, the entrepreneurs. So taking a little bit of differentiation and saying, I meet effort with effort. That is a key leadership strategy here for me with Sensi. I match effort with effort. Don't come to me and want me to I'm not going to spend an hour on the phone with you if you haven't done the work to come sit on the phone with me. But I will certainly sit on the phone for an hour with one of my leaders that is leading the shit out of her team. So matching effort with effort. A lot of times we hear new directors and new leaders say, I'm tired. I don't know how to be everything for everybody. Well, at that point, it's a very good practice to figure out how you're going to navigate it. Because when your team doubles and your team triples, you can't be everything for everybody. The easiest way to sift out how to spend your time when it comes to leading your people is when you measure effort for effort. It's still important that you extend a message, email, conversation, an invitation to your community, to everyone. We also know that people might join for one reason, and 2 years down the road, their reason changes on why they stay. You can't discount people just because they don't want what you want and they don't take your advice. We have that happen all the time. I can tell people till I'm blue in the face exactly what they need to do to build a business. Sell $2,000 a month, sponsor 2 new people a month. I can tell you there's that magic formula that everybody wants to know the secrets of. There's no secrets. That's the magic formula. Sell $2,000 a month and sponsor 2 new people and can teach them to do the same thing. There you go. You build a business. But you can say that all day long and it'll fall on a lot of deaf ears. Because again, there's people that are here for all different reasons. Some people are here to sell the minimum and be part of a community. That's okay. You're welcome here. You're welcome here. And I will be the leader for that community that you are a part of. But if you want my time, we're going to match some effort with effort. That's probably one of my, if I could say 2 of my main leadership, maybe there's 3 of my main leadership words I live by. It is, I can't make you work, but I can show you why you want to. Matching effort with effort is a very astute leadership quality. That is how you keep some of your leadership sanity. And number 3, the value you get out of the Sensi community is directly proportionate to the value you bring. Think about that. So when it comes to your organization, how can you make them see the value? How can you make them see the value and want to contribute to the value? Because the reason all of us are successful is because we do this business together. That is a beautiful thing at Sensi. We are, think about it. We all are actually competitors. And I'm not in Chloe's upline. I'm not in Chloe's downline. And I'm not in a sideline with any of you. If you think about it, at the end of the day, I sell the same products as you do, and you could sell to my customers and I could sell to yours. But that isn't our mindset here. And if that's your mindset and you're cutthroat like that, you don't fit in here. because we are the sum total of all of our parts. I'll train for Chloe. Chloe will train for me. I scratch my back, you scratch, I scratch your back, you scratch mine. Because we're better together. That's one of the things that makes our community so strong. Is we are willing to share, and we are willing to help out, and we are willing to lean on each other. So the value that you get out of anything is directly proportionate to the value you bring. Teaching our teams that is important because, and I'll tell you one way that I nip some things in the bud, my favorite one to do, my favorite, is when somebody who doesn't show up to anything takes to my team page to complain about something. Oh, no. That's a no. That's not happening. I will tell you, I live for that. You do not come pee in my pool when you have not even been on the pool deck. And you are allowed to structure your organization in a way that says, here's what we do here. Here's what we do here. And if you want the right to complain about something or vent about something, then you better be celebrating something on the flip side. You better be contributing something good in order to take a little bit of air out of the room. There is nothing wrong with running your organization like, here's what we do here. This is what we do. And you're either going to jive in it or you're not. You're welcome at the table. You get a seat the moment you get a starter kit, you get a seat. But you can work to earn and keep that seat. So that is how my daily leadership is. I'm in tune to what's going on. I'm in tune to who I'm watching. I am available to my leaders. They are most important to me. My front line are, no, I'll be right there. I'll tell you. Oh gosh, no, Marin, because we still have to move that table. Oh boy. Okay, I'll be right there. Dang it, you guys, I need to, when she does that, I need to jot down where I left off. Oh, I'm there for my leaders and I'm there for my front line. And I don't cut people off. If somebody's 4 down from me and they're making shit happen, they get my attention. Because I'll tell you what, there's a lot of frontline superstar directors that didn't start out as somebody's frontline consultant. And you will get difference of opinion on this in Sensi. You will get difference of opinion. Some people will say, I don't go down past my paid generations. And I say you're silly. I will say you're a fool. Because anybody that's under me, doesn't matter if they're 11 levels down, anybody that's under me has the opportunity to be in my paid generation at some point. Because you know why I know that? I'm not going anywhere. And people will leave before me. I am damn not going anywhere. I tell everybody, I tell my team all the time, this is my motto. You leave, I'll take your customers and I'll be happy with it. No nonsense. No nonsense. We're here to have fun, but we're here to meet goals. We're here to grow. We're here to take care of ourselves. We're here to stand up for ourselves. We're here to get others to believe they damn can because we know they can. But again, effort with effort. Don't tell me all the things you want to do. Show me all the things that you're going to do. What's the hard part of leadership? The hard part of leadership is really differentiating who to spend your time with. What is a leadership income generating activity? You do have to be a little bit of some of the other things, but you can't spend all of your time giving all of yourself to everybody. So a hard part of leadership is, am I doing the right thing? Is what I'm doing working? Do my people like me? Do my people feel supported? Do I need to change anything? Well, the only way I know if what I'm doing is working is if I ask my people, what do you need? There's a whole workstation with training videos. So don't tell me that you need to know how to do a basket party. But what do you need here? It's a really good way to check in and say, is there any way that I could better support you? Is there any way, do you think, is there a need? Because I have tunnel vision. I'm on Melissa's path. Please don't break anything. I'm on Melissa's path. And sometimes we have tunnel vision and we think what we're doing is working and we think what we're doing is reaching the masses. And we think that, but the moment you think you have everything under control, that's when it's time to shake it up a little bit because, but listen, you aren't going to make everybody happy all of the time. Ever. Ever. And so the hard part of leadership is our recognition that we can't be everything for everybody. And that the moment you have it nailed, it's time to change it. And that time is not infinite. We don't have unlimited time. We're women. We're pulled in 64 different directions, and we're allowed to have some time for self-care too. Let me tell you something. I spoke with Ariel Huggins. Anybody that knows her, you just love her. So Ariel Huggins, and she said something to me that is going to stick with me for the rest of my life. And I probably have regurgitated what she told me like 50 times since she did a couple weeks ago, because I think it is just so important. And I've really been tuning into it. And she said, as women, we don't take enough time for ourselves to rest. We are only ever resting when it's recovery. And when you are trying to come out of recovery, it's a heck of a lot harder to get yourself started again. And I thought, boy, if that isn't the simplest, but most poignant point. Because as women, we naturally are coming out of recovery all the time because we are running in 64 different directions. So yesterday I said to hell with it. And I went at 10 o'clock in the morning, got a massage. And I said, because that is what I need to do right now for myself. That's what I need. Yeah, I'll be there. That's okay. Self-care is the only way that you're going to have anything to pour into others, because leadership is about pouring into others. There's a lot of leaning and a lot of lifting that goes on as a leader and as somebody that needs to be led. Rewarding aspects of leadership. The rewarding aspects are seeing my girls realize they did it. They did it, and they did it because they believed that they could. And they did it when they said they were going to. It doesn't matter how long it takes. I have a director who hit director for the first time in 2010, and she just in October of 20 hit director again. 10 years. But I commend her for staying the course, rebuilding her team. She's somebody who will get a bunch of my attention. She's not wavered. She hasn't veered. Sometimes the cards they're not dealt in your favor. The right players aren't in place. There's a lot of people sitting at star director that just don't have the right people in place. But you have absolutely no chance of achieving a goal if you quit. None. And I never understand somebody that works so hard to build an organization in Cincy and they let it go. And I understand life happens. Things become more important. You lose your way. I understand that. That's normal in life. Some marriages work, some marriages don't. But if you just stay the course, Look what happened with Cincy. For any of you that have been here with Chloe and I the last 9 years, I mean, we experienced hyper growth and we experienced some pretty low valleys. And a lot of people jumped ship in the valley. My upline is one. She jumped ship in the valley. She's still a consultant, but she's getting paid as a director. She was getting paid as a superstar director. She was riding the tide when it was good, and she jumped ship when it was a valley and went and divided her focus and looked for something else. Well, guess who sat and experienced the hypergrowth again in 2020 and in 2021? Those that didn't jump, but stayed the course. I firmly believe Sensi gives us what we need, and they will continue to give us what we need. And I don't feel like this is a fly-by-night company, and I don't feel like they're going to wrong me. And I don't feel like I need to be worried. That's a pretty awesome feeling. That's a pretty awesome feeling. I don't know how many of you have watched that documentary on, I don't even know where, about, one of those companies that, Anyway, we don't have that here. What a good feeling to know that I truly can leave a legacy. You think about it. If I was working at that insurance office until the day I died, my daughter doesn't automatically get to slip into my role. Everything that I had done, everything I had built would end with me. Not here. Not here. Everything I build, there's unlimited potential. There's unlimited growth. And I will be here to see it through. I am absolutely not going anywhere. And I'll tell you, as a young consultant, when my mentors, when those that I looked up to as a very young consultant told me I am never going anywhere, that made me feel really good about the path ahead of me. If you look at a ton of our leaders, a ton of our titled leaders in this company, they've been here a while. They've been here a while, and they've only been here a while because it works, and because it's good, and because it's right. It's not shady. We don't need to pressure anybody. There's no shady sales tactics. Nothing is being asked of you to do that either your leader or the company isn't going to do or back you. And you're in charge. You're in charge. So the rewarding parts of leadership are the things that we get to experience for ourselves and for our people. Nothing feels better than watching one of your girls hit a title. Doesn't matter what title it is. I've had girls that have been so excited to hit lead consultant. And I hit lead consultant in my first month. Lead consultant to me was like nothing. And I don't mean that in a rude way. But what I mean is that some girls, lead consultant took a while. They deserve to be celebrated because that was their goal and they achieved it. Certifying is a big deal. Hitting leads a big deal. Hitting director is a really big deal. Only about 1% of our consultant population is a director. Think about that. You're one of a very, very minute percentage. And there's more opportunity here for you. And you will have leaders that have come before you that'll still stand on the path ahead of you and say, come on. Come on. Because we don't just lead at this level, at my level and who I am. And in my 14 years with Sensi, I don't just lead my team. I'll lead anybody that wants to follow me. I'll lead anybody that wants to come with me. Because we are the sum of all of our parts. We are better together. Is there anything, Chloe, that you saw come in the chat? Is there anything else you want to ask me to touch on, or?
I mean, I don't think so. I took so many notes. I mean, it was really great. And thank you for your time. I can very well see that you are pulled in a lot of directions, not even all the time, but just even right now. And I think it was really cool for them to see someone. I mean, you're just so authentic, and your daughters, they see that, your children, they see that. And I just think it's a really beautiful thing, because people have to see this is what it's about. That she's why you do what you do. My kids,
Yeah.
I do what I do. They're the life and breath. And I think that the legacy really hit on. So I want you to be with your family. So I'm going to go ahead, unless anybody has any crazy questions. I don't think they will in the chat, but I'm just so grateful that you did this for me tonight and for us. I always get your knowledge, and I can text you anytime, but a lot of these people can't. So it really, I don't think they have questions because the mic was dropped, as you can see. And seriously, I love you. I'm so grateful for you. You're great.
It's mutual, Chloe. You know, I'm one of your biggest cheerleaders. So
I love you, and I'm thankful you've stuck with.
You're
and guys,
awesome. Yeah,
so
you're
I'm
awesome.
going to stop the recording. That